fellow Rotarians, Rotaractors, and friends, and welcome to another edition of Membership Master Vault. Last week, we looked at Rotary's membership goals and the challenge before us. Tonight, we move from goals to action. Our speaker, Regional Membership Coordinator Dimitris Harrell, will help us examine practical strategies that clubs can use to run Rotary Action Plan into measurable membership growth. The central question is simple. How do we create clubs that people want to join? And just as importantly, want to stay in? Dimitris brings both experience and tremendous enthusiasm to that question, with practical ideas that we can take back to our clubs and put to work. Dimitris, welcome to the Membership Master Vault. The floor is yours.
Good evening and welcome to our August series of our Membership Master Vault. As you know, this is Membership Month and we are having weekly sessions. Today, I am here to talk to you about strategies. But let me give a very brief introduction. I am Dimitris Harrell, Rotarian for District 5910 and your Regional Membership Coordinator. This could not be possible without all of the advisors working from behind the scenes. I always like to give thanks and gratitude for your continuous investment in making sure we deliver great presentations to our guests. Fellow Rotarians, Rotaractors, and guests, we thank you for being participants and always staying engaged. And to Addie, for always being inspiring and getting us started with a boom. So tonight, I am here to talk to you about strategies that we can use to grow Rotary. As we all know, we have some very lofty goals, and those goals will ensure that Rotary has a lasting impact. We know that our theme for this year, our message, is focused on creating lasting impact. And how can we do that without ensuring that we grow Rotary? You know, our director, Tom Gump, recently asked the question, how do we do just that? How can we grow Rotary? And my simple response was ask. You know, for us to have anyone join in, we must extend the invitation. It seems very simple. It seems very easy, but the reality is we are still the best kept secret. But you know, we have to ask ourselves the question, why do we want to hold on to something of that great magnitude? It is important and essential that we look at Rotary as something that all generations would have an opportunity to taste. Taste and see. We are here because we love the opportunity to have fun, fellowship, and most of all, participate in service. But to make a greater impact, to create lasting impact, we must do it by number. And so that is why in 2030, we have such a goal. Tonight, I will talk to you briefly about some of those strategies and tips that we can use that I believe will truly shine through the opportunity to gain, give, generate, and grow Rotary. I've been using those 4 G's for some time, but I want to make sure that we emphasize on the magnitude. So I want to take a moment, and I am now going to share my screen with this brief presentation. So hold tight and I will get us started. We definitely appreciate all of the work that our team continues to do. You know, when we think about Rotary, it might seem simple. It might seem easy, but it is not. It is work. And that is work that more than we could ever imagine through volunteers. And it begins with your regional leadership team, our membership coordinators. Yes, I took time to acknowledge the assistant Rotary coordinators are here to support you, provide guidance to you, enrich you, and always be available to stand beside you. I always like to acknowledge, too, the many district governors who have volunteered their time to lead their district and make a significant impact through the work that they do every single day. But let's grow Rotary. And what do we have to do to ensure that we make this change? Membership plans to elevate your strategic leadership to grow membership. August the 11th, 2026. And as Addie always reminds us, these presentations will always be available for you. So let's look at our action plan. The action plan tells a story. The action plan is a part of what Rotary has placed before us to use to help us grow. But I wanted to design a little bit of change. Show us some strategies that will come from the action plan. We know things like expand your reach and making that impact, but Rotary growth is not on a design. It's not a mystery, but I love that your club is designed for the results that it gets. You see, for us to grow Rotary in our districts, we have to start at the club level. We see here a wonderful district governor coming into his year, holding the message sign, create lasting impact. A former district governor, one that is now considered a past district governor, leaving her mark, but also acknowledging that it required her work, her vision, and the continuation. We have to make sure that for us to have that sustainability, that we continue to engage and retain. Let's look at this action plan a little differently. Invite and welcome, engage and retain, lead and innovate, and be able to tell the story. Defining our passion, our mission, change the design and change the results. You see, action is something that requires movement. We cannot just sit back and see the decline. We must impact by design. Here are 5 strategies that I believe we can use that will help us launch the needle, that will help us cultivate change, that will help us grow Rotary. And Rotaractors, we're looking for you to do the same. Number 1, recruitment and member value. Every Rotarian out there wants to be seen and wants to be valued. Let's clarify what Rotary does locally and look at the visibility of the wins and the volunteering impact. You see, my friends, we must show through our action the change agents that we truly are. We must share clear reasons of why you should join Rotary and become a family member. It's one thing to ask, but we have to show the value of what Rotary truly is. We can do that in a multitude of ways, but I want to give you just a couple of examples. Share the clear reason why you join through skills, community, friendships, and leadership. You see, we are still developing leaders and transitioning them into the possibilities of future governors. We want to also target 2 to 3 specific audiences that we can go to promote Rotary. Young professionals, retirees, parents, founders, and yes, we all may not still remember or acknowledge classifications, but let's find the people that are missing in the room. You see, they can't take a seat at the table until they are invited to come into the room. Number 2, we want to look at programming that people want to attend. We oftentimes say that programs have to be viable, but we have to create a calendar that gives diversity. Socials, service, career, and community events are just some of the ways in which we can program people by programming what they want. We want to balance fun with a purpose. Speaker nights plus hands-on service. We want to recruit speakers who are relevant to member lives and local priorities. You know, we continue to say that we want to look like our community, but we also want to make sure that we foster the goodwill of our community. We want to track attendance, not so that it is necessary to eliminate the flexibility, but track attendance by adopting formats that in-person, hybrid, shorter meetings allow for people to know that they are valued. We also want to feature members and allow them to lead by strengthening and taking ownership of engagement. You know, engagement is something we have heard a lot, but how do we maintain that engagement? We have to get them involved. Number 3, service projects with measurable outcomes. Select core community needs and focus deeply to set targets and enhance your participation by getting volunteers, letting them see the work in action. Families, and also those who are impacted, those who are served, and the dollars that are being generated. We also have to take time to set targets, create designs and projects that are beneficial, and also publicize the results immediately through photos, stats, and testimonials. Build partnerships with schools, nonprofits, cities, and businesses. You see, that is another way we can expand our reach by getting our community involved. Number 4, youth and community pipelines. We often say that we want Rotary to see and be a part of our youth. But to see our youth, we have to go out and strengthen the programs that really they would want to be invested in. We want to host mentorship. We want to participate in Interact and RILA and Rotaract and make those become pathways that these individuals will see the benefits of Rotary. host programs that will offer leadership and roles in which our young can be a part of our committees and even be cheers and chairs of projects, even caption their participation through making them champions. Yes, I said cheers because we want them to be our greatest cheerleaders so that they will soon become the chairs that will lead the way. And finally, retention through leadership culture. Retention through leadership culture is use of mentorship and supporting the efforts, rotating the responsibilities and developing leaders across the club, improve meeting qualities by setting targets and looking at clear agendas, recognizing service and the progress that consistently allows us to award the people in the room. We also have to look at where membership is not growing, whether it be those retirees or even looking at women in Rotary. While we have made great progress, there are many clubs that could grow just by looking at the variations of fellow Rotarians. Membership growth, tip number 1, clubs that grow make membership a priority because they identify potential members. And that's why I said, looking at the different classifications that may be missing in the room. But you have to be attractive to members, and therefore we cannot hide behind our Rotary signs. We have to get in front of them. We have to make sure that people see what Rotary is doing and show them the evolution of how we can empower and impact our membership. Onboarding programs. It's one thing to orient our members, but it's another to onboard them. Let them know the value of their club, their district, their zone, and Rotary International. Engaging and retaining members. This is important because we cannot grow if we do not retain those that already are in the room. Here are 4 strategic priorities. Increase our impact that comes from our action plan. Focus on measurable, high-quality service projects that address real community needs. Expand our reach. Grow and diversify membership by creating new entry points into Rotary, including the flexibility of club formats and online participation. You know, over the years, we have more e-clubs, but the reality is we can accept even more. Enhance participant engagement. Well, we need to support clubs in keeping members active, valued, and connected through meaningful experiences. Adapt and look to changing the times. We can't always say that we do what we've always done because we will always get what we've always gotten. But embracing the innovation, the technology, and the new ways of working to remain relevant. You see, that's what we're doing this month as we dedicate every series to membership and making sure that we have a session each month. Membership and new club development is something that you will see and you will hear from our assistant Rotary coordinators on membership every single meeting and every time that we share our Membership Master Vault series. It is important that we know that the only way we can grow is we have to continue to invest in new clubs, new opportunities with new members. We also have to take a chance on knowing that we cannot just handle a small portion, but we can deliver large impacts. You know, what I'm saying is 1 or 2 members of growth is all that we're asking, but we want to get to that 1.25 million Rotarians. And to do that, we have to maintain the ones we have, but also recruit new members. And I think we oftentimes get comfortable by having 1 or 2. But when we finish at the end of the year, we usually lose 5 to 6. So that says we have to expand our vision and those priorities. Retaining members is important. Making sure that they know the membership purpose, their passion, and having them stronghold, stay connected, and being visual and vibrant. But we also have to look at sustaining the membership, supporting those who are already there, and empower all of our members, those who desire to be present. Have you ever noticed that you might have individuals that have never participated in a service project? Well, let's look at all the tools that Rotary International has to assess our clubs. Do a health check, evaluate by surveying to determine what can we do differently. Those are all key strategies to help you sustain the people in the room. We also want to focus on maintaining. And that means of service and repair, and also caring for our members. You know, for us to do maintenance on anything that we have to provide a little compassion, a little care, and making sure that we re-emphasize the value. Continue to examine the success stories. You see, I could say that Rotary has been a fundamental part of my life. The 4-way test is on my desk. My leadership values have principles that come directly from Rotary. Rotary has been how I have expanded my career. You may ask, well, how can it expand your career? Well, through the mentorship, through the many opportunities to serve and to also be of servitude. Rotarians are generous individuals, and there have been those that have invested in me and made sure that I knew the power of impact. You see, we don't take our roles lightly. We believe that they give value to all around. It is how we grow. It is how we gain, and it is how we generate. Why do I say those G's are important? Well, to grow Rotary, we have to bring new people in. We have to maintain the ones we have, but we have to show all of them why we stay. And that is through testimonials and stories of the work and the change agents that we truly are. We want to generate those captions. It is important that we take pictures and we reflect on the images of Rotary. We also want to give of our time and also to the foundation, because together we bring about change. So I want to say to you that strategies are great. There are many different ways in which we can grow our membership. But how we do it goes back to something very simple. Have the conversation by inviting people in. We can recruit. We can also see the dilution. but now I am turning to you for the solution. Because I believe the power in growing membership is in your hands. Let's do it together. Let's be the change agents, and let's make sure that we have the power and the passion to lead the future by creating lasting impact. Thank you all so very much for this opportunity, for the work that we do around the world, and for leading the way. Let's continue to generate strategies, and let's be innovative. But let's start by asking the question that simply says, we want you to be a part of our family. Can't you do it? Let's not have another year that we close with a negative. Let's be positive. Let's be measurable, and let's make a difference. Thank you.
Thank you, Demetrius, for reminding us that membership growth is not a mystery. It is a matter of intentional action. Tonight, you have given us a practical roadmap. Clearly communicate the value of Rotary. Create programs people want to attend. Undertake service that produces measurable impact. Build stronger pathways for young people into Rotary. And above all, create a culture in which members want to remain. There's a Yoruba proverb that captures the spirit of your message. Igi kan kò dá igbó ṣe. One tree does not make a forest. Rotary grows the same way, not through one person, one committee, or one membership drive, but through all of us intentionally inviting, engaging, and retaining people who share our desire to serve. So let us move from membership goals to membership action. Thank you, Demetrius, and thank you all for joining us.